Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a massive episode of The Dog Dish. This week we have our very first guest, Emilio Da Savage. You might have seen him across TikTok, maybe on Instagram, maybe at some Bulldog games. He's a legend of a bloke. He can chat stuff, he knows his footy low-key. He's an up-and-comer, a talent, a content creator. Let's get straight into the episode. Alright, Emilio, welcome to the podcast, mate. How are ya?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me
Oh,
on.
good. No, thanks for jumping on, mate. I'm feeling a bit grateful because I'm just in the presence of one of the great Bulldog content creators on TikTok.
Same goes to you.
Cheers, man. All right, let's get straight into it. How did you start as a Bulldogs fan? Have you been a Bulldogs fan since you were born, or like how did that come about?
Nah, I haven't. When I was born, like a little kid, I didn't support anyone. Like my family are NRL supporters, but I never really, like no one really had a team on me, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
My family is actually mostly Parramatta supporters
Oh no.
and some doggy supporters.
Yeah,
So it's a lot of rivalry there. But at around probably 7 years old, roughly, I became a Bulldog supporter. And
why?
yeah,
Why'd you
just
become
started
a Bulldog
there. Like
supporter?
honestly, I don't know. Like it was just in the heart. Like
Yeah,
I'd always hated Parramatta. I always hated them. There was never a reason back then, but I always hated them. And it started from there. And like ever since I was a kid, if I love something, I'm very like passionate towards it. Like I'm very loyal towards it. And yeah, it started from there. And now big Bulldogs fan.
yeah. That's sick. That's sick. It's almost as if it's just always meant to be. You said how it was just sort of in your heart. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Do you live around Parramatta?
I live closer to Parramatta than
Yeah. And like is that
fans.
why your family or some of your family goes for Parramatta?
Well, the ones that go for Parramatta live closer to like Canterbury,
Oh,
which is weird.
there you go.
I don't
No,
know.
I rate that though. It'd be such an interesting dynamic because obviously Bulldogs Eels like we hate
Yeah,
each other. It's such a big rivalry. It'd be fun like when
yeah.
the Bulldogs and Eels play each other. Bit of banter.
Like my dad's a Para fan, my mum's a Bulldogs fan.
There you go. You wouldn't
Yeah,
do that though. I've seen like you're on Sportshed TV and you've made TikToks about it. If your son or something goes for Parramatta, they're just getting disowned. Hey,
it's a no go. Nah, no way.
no questions asked. All right, so obviously you're big on TikTok. For anyone that doesn't know you, you got 50,000 followers on TikTok. You do a bit of Instagram as well, bit of YouTube, I think as well. Talk to me about how that all started.
Oh, YouTube, I haven't been on since I've popped up on TikTok, but I plan to go back on probably in the next few weeks. But yeah, I started on YouTube at around 10, 11 years old. I was always into like being on camera, social media. Like I always wanted to make something out of myself and like make a difference for others. Like it was always something I enjoyed. And I just started doing vlogs. Like I looked up to at the time like the Paul brothers and stuff, and I wanted to be something like that. So I do vlogs, I did my thing, and then just all went through as a journey to where I am now. Like I discovered TikTok. I was like, it started working for me. So then I transferred to TikTok from YouTube, and yeah, it's been a pretty good journey.
With the TikTok thing, because obviously that would have started a couple years ago, I assume. What were
Yeah.
you doing on TikTok like at the very start? Were you doing what you're doing now, or was it different back then?
Uh, Basically, what I'm doing now, just because I just started, I have so much ideas on what to do. So I'd post like 10 videos a day, sometimes even more. And yeah, so same thing, just a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. So you just sort of were just exploring TikTok and just doing everything you thought to do,
Yeah, basically.
and it's just grown and grown and grown. Hey, because as I said, you're up to 50,000 followers and growing, and I think
Yeah.
there's big things ahead. Do you have any like big plans for your TikTok in the future, like next year or in 5 years' time? Do you want to keep pursuing it or?
Um, I don't have a specific plan. I just want to make it a career.
Yeah,
That's my plan.
yeah, yeah. Just keep making content and make something out of it. Like as you
Yeah,
said, the Poor Brothers and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Which
that's
I'm not
mad.
a fan anymore, but
Yeah.
at the time,
Yeah, it happens, eh? That seems like a lot of content creators, they go up and then there's always controversy and they fall back down.
yeah,
It seems
exactly.
at least. All right, let's get into some Bulldog news. Corey Allen has left. Yesterday he left. He got released from the rest of his contract. What were your thoughts on Corey Allen leaving or just in general?
He's a great player, but I kind of expected that because I didn't think he'd have a spot in the squad next year. So I thought like he's got potential. I don't think he deserves to be in reserve grade. So I think the Roosters signed him, which should
Yeah,
be
they
good for him.
did. Yeah, yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
good because he was at the Rabbitohs and like he played for Queensland and stuff. And I remember
yeah,
when we signed him, I was a bit excited because I don't think we'd signed Dufty at that stage. So he was probably going to be fullback, but then we had Dufty and now Avarello at fullback, and we haven't really been able
yeah.
to find a spot for him. Who would your back five be for the Bulldogs next year, like 1 to 5? Obviously, you'd have like Adokar on one wing, Karaz probably on the other wing. What about like the centers and fullback?
Avarillo, I mean, there's no other option, and he's
Yeah,
been playing. He improves every week, which
yeah,
is amazing. But I see Crichton being fullback in 2024,
yeah,
and two obviously Kiraz. See, five Adokar, 3 and 4 would be tough. Like they might mix and match a little bit throughout the
yeah.
season, first 3 weeks, and I don't know that it is poor Almoti. I don't know if I
Yeah,
pronounced that
yeah,
right.
yeah. Paul Alamotti, yeah.
And Skelton.
Yeah,
I'm not good at pronouncing, but I think that they would probably start as centers,
yeah,
and it might get changed depends on how they perform.
yeah. Because, like, with Shop leaving, I thought Alan might have had a chance to lock in a centre spot, but he's not really a centre, is he? He's more of a
No,
fullback, and he just couldn't find a spot.
yeah,
Yeah. What do you mentioned Crichton 2024? Do you reckon that'll happen? I wanted to touch on the rumours of him and also Moses. We'll start with Crichton. Do you reckon that'll happen?
I I'm like 90% sure it'll happen. Also, because when I met him, I asked him, "Are you gonna come to Bulldogs?" And he's like, "Yeah, next year, next year."
When did you meet him? Was that like pretty recent?
Yeah, at the New South Wales Cup
Oh
grand
yeah,
final.
true. Yeah, because that's
Like
I saw a.
sorry,
No, you go, you go.
I always say it like as a joke. Like when I met Toto, I was like, "Are you gonna come to Bulldogs?" He's like,
Yeah,
"Nah."
but then
And
Connor
then
was
Crichton
like, yeah.
was like, "Yeah, next year, next year," and he winked at me. I was like, "What?"
Big news there. I saw like there's like a Bulldogs forum online, and somebody had posted on it a photo of like Crichton at a petrol station, and they were like, "Oh, I just spoke to Crichton. He said that it's the plan to sign with the Bulldogs for 2024." And like that's like the worst possible source you could
Yeah,
have for like a bit of news like that, but it seems like it's gonna happen. Like Crichton, I reckon they're just waiting for the salary cap to be announced because they don't know
yeah.
what the salary cap is. I think once that's announced, they'll announce Crichton. What do you think about Mitch Moses? Do you reckon we'll get him as well? Do you want him?
No,
You don't want him?
I don't want Moses. And Parramatta supporters have admitted this themselves. He's very like he's a decent player, but he's very inconsistent. Like you don't know if he's gonna perform that day. You can't rely on someone like that, especially for $1 million. I don't think he's worth it at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay him a million. I think he falls between like the 800 to 900K mark probably.
Less, I think
But
less.
yeah, less you reckon? Not even
Yeah,
800K?
like
Yeah, true.
reserve.
Yeah, I don't know if we can have him and Crichton, and I'd probably take Crichton over him.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
like I still think Flano deserves it like at least half a season. He hasn't had a real opportunity yet because
I
by the
agree.
time he was playing with Matt Burton, like they hadn't played together at all. They hadn't trained together at all because like he was training with the New South Wales Cup. So I reckon them having a preseason together will be huge. And like they were getting
Yeah,
better every week. So I think Flanagan still has a chance to make the number 7 jersey his.
He's underrated, Flanagan. Like he cops so much, but he's never really done anything wrong. I feel
Yeah,
sorry.
I feel so sorry for him, eh? Because I rate him. I like him.
Yeah, me
I think,
too.
and especially like Reed Marty coming in at hooker, I think that'll free up Burton and Flanagan a lot, and that'll let Flanagan just do what he needs to do, just get Burton space, and so I think he's only going to get better.
Yeah, and we got Rajab in reserve grade.
Yeah,
I think a lot of potential.
he gives me a bit of Josh Reynolds vibes, just like cult hero
Yeah,
for
he
the
does.
club. Lebanese, which you got to love at the Bulldogs, and
Yeah.
he killed it in the World Cup. And Gus tweeted actually last night that he'll get a crack in first grade at some stage. So
Yeah,
hopefully
he's
he
on.
kills it.
Speaking of Josh Reynolds, I can't wait.
How good? Yeah, how good's that? I don't want to touch on Josh Reynolds. Just seeing him back, just even in training kit, how good is it?
It's like nostalgia. Like it's
Yeah,
amazing. I can't wait to just have him there, especially round three, Belmore. Oh,
and we play the Tigers as
yeah,
well.
we'll
We play
smash
like
it.
we play the Tigers at Belmore, and like that's the club he left for. So that's like the Josh Reynolds Cup at Belmore. Like
Yeah.
you can't make it up if he's playing in that game. The fans are storming the field again.
Oh yeah, I can't
It'd be
wait.
mad.
Like which Bulldog supporter is not gonna be at that game?
Yeah, it'll sell out so quickly. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Even the trial game, like he's probably most likely if he's going to get a run, he should get a run in a trial game at least. So that Belmore trial game, that'll be massive as well. I reckon that'll be a packed house just for a
Wait, is
trial
it at
game.
Belmore
Yeah, we
control
play
game?
one South Coast and then one in this second week. I can't remember who it's against. Oh, the Sharks. The
Oh
Sharks put at
yeah,
Belmore. Yeah,
I'll
got to
go.
get to that game. Yeah, it'll be mad. Are you a Bulldogs member
I will be next year,
next
but I've
year?
never bought a membership.
Yeah, that's fair. How many games do you reckon you go to a year? Like, do you go to a couple?
Um, like I'll probably go to 90% of the Sydney
Yeah,
games.
yeah. That'll do, I reckon. Do you have anything else
Uh,
we thought we could touch on, or are you sweet?
um, that's about it. There's nothing much.
Yeah, mad. I'll hit you up. We might do it, might run it back next week or in a couple of weeks. That'll do, I reckon. Do you have anything else you thought we could touch on, or are you sweet? Yeah, mad. I'll hit you up. We might do it. Might run it back next week or in a couple of weeks. There's not much happening in preseason, but we'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, it'll be mad. All right. Thanks for jumping on, man. I appreciate it. You too. See ya.